conditioning. In that, at first we can study what is meant by the independent set of vertices. Or internally stable set. Another name is internally stable set. Okay, a set of vertices in a graph is said to be an independent set of vertices or internally stable set if no two vertices in the set are adjacent. No two vertices in the set are adjacent. For example, here you consider A, C, D. A, C, D. These three vertices are non-adjacent. So, this set is an independent set. A single vertex in any graph constitute an independent set. Okay. Now, what is meant by the maximal internally stable set or maximal independent set? Next term is maximal independent set or maximally internally stable set. Maximal internally stable set. Now that means that is an independent set to which no other vertex can be added without destroying its independence property. For example, consider the set A, C, D, F. A, C, D, F. Here these four vertices are non-adjacent. So that is clearly an independent set. Okay. So it is also a maximal independent set because why? From this set no other vertex can be added to it without destroying its independence property. We cannot add another vertex to this set without destroying its independence property. And consider another example. BF. Here B, here F. Now you cannot add any other vertex to it without destroying its independence property. So this is also a maximal independent set. Now another example, consider BG. This is also a maximal independent set because we cannot add any other vertex to this set without destroying its independence property. Now, from these examples, you can see that a graph has many maximal independent sets and they may be of different sizes. Here you can see that here there are 4 vertices, here only 2 vertex, here also 2 vertex. Okay. The number of vertices in the largest independent set of a graph G is called the independence number or coefficient of internal stability. Coefficient of internal stability or another name is independence number. Independence number. Okay, another name is independence number and it is usually denoted by beta of G. Beta of G. The coefficient of internal stability or independence number denoted by beta of G, and from this example you can see that what is beta of G for this graph. Actually beta of G is the number of vertices in the largest independent set of a graph. So here in this example beta of G is equal to 4. Okay. Now consider a k-chromatic graph G of n vertices properly colored with k different colors. Since the largest number of vertices in G with the same color cannot exceed the independence number beta of G. That means beta of G greater than or equal to n by k. Here n is the total number of vertices and k denote the chromatic number, k chromatic. So the independence number is always greater than or equal to n by k. Okay, there are 3 maximal independent set for the above graph. So it is 3 chromatic. The above graph is 3 chromatic. Next we can move to the chromatic partitioning. Now here we consider a simple connected graph G. Partition all vertices of G into the smallest possible number of disjoint independent sets. This is called the chromatic partitioning of graph. Okay, now we can consider the previous example itself. Here consider this example, and here you can see that you can find all the possible the chromatic partitioning of this graph. For that you consider A, C, D, F. This is one independent set. Now consider B, G. Now consider E. So this is one partitioning. That means this set contains all the vertices now A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Now here we are partitioning all the vertices of G into smallest possible number of disjoint independent sets. So this is one partitioning of the above graph. Now we can consider other possibilities. Suppose A, C, D, G. Consider this set. Then consider B, F. Then consider E. Okay. Now if you want, you can avoid the set symbol here. You can simply put a one bracket, single bracket. Okay. Okay, now this one, this one, this one, this one, this one and this one. Now consider another one, C, D, F, B, G, A, E. And another one, C, D, G, B, F, A, E. So these are the possible chromatic partitioning of this graph. Okay. So this is the chromatic partitioning. Next we can move to what is meant by uniquely colorable graph. What is meant by uniquely colorable graph? So you write the side heading like this: uniquely colorable graphs. So we can draw an example here. Consider here is one vertex V1, here V2. Suppose this is V3, V4, V5. Now we can join these vertices in this way. Okay. Now a graph that has only one chromatic partition is called a uniquely colorable graph. That means there exists only one possibility. for partitioning the graph. Now, from the above discussed graph is not a uniquely colorable graph, because here we already seen there are 4 possible chromatic partitioning. Instead of that, if there exists only one chromatic partition, we can say that graph is uniquely colorable. Now, so this is an example for a uniquely colorable graph. Now we can consider this partition. Here consider V3, V5, V2, V4 and V1. So this is the only possible partition here. So this graph is uniquely colorable. So here these 2 vertices have the same color, these 2 vertices having same color, and this vertex another color. So actually this graph is 3 chromatic. So here these vertices are, here you can see that this is a chromatic partitioning, and this graph is 3 chromatic. Here V3 and V5. V3 and V5 takes the same color. V2 and V4, they are non-adjacent. They take the same color. And V1 take another color. Okay, next we can move to what is meant by dominating sets. Dominating sets, dominating number, etc. Now, a dominating set or externally stable set. The another name is externally stable set. Dominating set or externally stable set. In a graph, G is a set of vertices that dominates every vertex V in G. That is, either V is included in the dominating set or is adjacent to one or more vertices included in the dominating set. For example, if we consider the set Bg corresponding to the already drawn figure. Now let us redraw here. Suppose this is A, B, C, D, E, F and G here. Consider this graph. Here you consider BG. Here you consider the set B and G. Here you can see that all vertices that are not included in this set are adjacent to the vertices in this set. That means B is adjacent to A, C, D, E, and G is adjacent to F, E. That means these 2 vertices B and G are adjacent to all other vertices that are not included in this set. That is the meaning of dominating set. Okay. Now another example. Another dominating set A, B, C, D, F. A, B, C, D, F. You can see that other vertices that are not included in this set are adjacent to these vertices. So that is the meaning of dominating set. Okay. Now, a dominating set need not be independent. Dominating set need not be independent. The set of all vertices is trivially a dominating set in every graph. Okay. Now, a minimal dominating set is a dominating set from which no vertex can be removed without destroying its dominance property. Okay. So, if you consider this set BE, you can see that this is a minimal dominating set. Why? Here you can see that the vertex B is adjacent to A, C, E and D, and the here B is adjacent to A, C, E and D, and also E. You consider E, and that is adjacent to F, G, C, D. That means all other vertices in this graph are adjacent to B and E. So this is a minimal dominating set. Now if you eliminate this E, then you can see that F and G are not adjacent to B. So it will destroy. If you are eliminating E from this set, that will destroy our dominance property. Okay, so we cannot eliminate B or E from this set. So this is a minimal dominating set. Another example, if you consider this set A, C, D, F, A, C, D, F, then you can see that all other vertices are adjacent to this set, and we cannot delete any of the vertices from this set. Now here you can see that A is adjacent to B and C is adjacent to B, E. C is adjacent to B and E, and D is adjacent to B and E, and F is adjacent to E and G. Okay, so you cannot delete any of these vertices from this set, and if you delete any of the vertices, and that will destroy its dominance property. So these two examples are minimal dominating sets. Now what are the observations here? Now let us move to the observations. Now the first observation is any one vertex in a complete graph constitute a minimal dominating set. A minimal dominating set. Now second one, every dominating set contains at least one minimal dominating set. Third one, a graph may have many minimal dominating sets and of different sizes that we see in this example. The number of vertices in the smallest minimal dominating set of a graph G is called the domination number. Okay, domination number, and it is denoted by alpha of G. So what is alpha of G? It is the minimum number of vertices in the smallest minimal dominating set. Number of vertices in the smallest minimal dominating set. Okay, the minimal dominating set may or may not be independent. That is very important. Now, every maximal independent set is a dominating set. An independent set has the dominance property only if it is a maximal independent set. Thus, an independent dominating set is the same as the maximal independent set. Also, in any graph, alpha of G less than or equal to beta of G. What is alpha of G? Alpha of G is the domination number. And what is beta of G? Beta of G is the independence number. What is independence number? It is the number of vertices in the largest independent set of a graph. The number of vertices in the largest independent set of a graph. And what is domination number alpha of G? The number of vertices in the smallest minimal dominating set of a graph. So always alpha of G. That means the domination number is less than or equal to the independence number. That is another observation here. Okay. Now let us stop the discussion now. In the next class we can discuss chromatic polynomial. Okay, thank you all.